Hello, my favorite CopperCube people. So, last video seems to be forever ago, and today we're going to proceed with creating our best MMORPG made with CopperCube engine. So last time, I believe we've added these collisions with the world objects, and we are going to proceed working on adding enemies to the game. And today we are going to refactor the client part, which means this video will be even more boring than it's usual. All right, so what do I mean by refactoring? Basically, currently we have our client, where is it? MMOCube controller, written like that. This starts to be a pretty huge behavior, and as soon as we will add more logic to it, for example, enemy logic and so on, it will grow even bigger. And for that reason, I'm going to recreate the whole thing using TypeScript. And then I will build TypeScript into the regular behavior, and we will add it back to other to other scene. I'm also wonder if I actually need to have different behaviors for different scenes, but this is something for us to figure out in the future. So first of all, as usual, I have a template for the TypeScript extensions. I'm just going to clone it, and I'm going to call it MMOCube controller 2, because I already have what? Why? I think I just need to rename it here because it's already opened. Extensions. Let's just do it like that. I'll just call it behavior, MMO, cube, controller to will it rename here. I hope it will. And it also doesn't work, right? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's just close Visual Studio then, and then just rename it here once again. Call it MMO cube controller, and now it is renamed. Let's just start the studio once again, and let's go to the controller, and let's see what we can do to quickly remake everything. So this is our base class. Looks a lot like the one which we usually have in what? Net runtime. I don't need this right now. Like a regular JavaScript behavior, but it's written in TypeScript, and TypeScript allows us to have two very important things. First of all, it will allow us to have our code in multiple files, which is pretty great for readability. And also it allows us to have everything in typed. So we will have a constant strict types. So for example, here in TypeScript, I can have like strings, numbers, and so on, booleans, which means that in case I'm assigning variable of incorrect type, it will throw us an error, which is very useful in case we are going to write like the really complex or like really long code. So first of all, let's just do all necessary preparations. First of all, we need to install Node modules as usual. I think it was a good idea to actually install this globally, but for some reason I just keep copying them. I don't think they actually weigh too much. Oh, it's 30 megabytes. It's okay. So I'm just copying it. And also what we need to do, we need to fix this. Just need to make sure I'm an incorrect folder, not to mess up some other, um, not to mess up plane controls. So here we will have output file would be, let's call it the same way as it was before, but with 2. So it will be package log behavior controller 2.js, and our source will be index for now. And we also need to go to our index file and change this behavior name to our controller here. And I would also copy this MMORPG controller line from here, and I would call it what I would call it. It will make sense to call it 1.2, but I want to have, let's just call it 1.0, why not? Okay, so do we need any properties? I don't think we need any properties. I will just remove that for now. I don't think we actually need it. And basically now, if we just go to the, oh, this is a server. If we just open command line here and run npm run del, it will start compiling our TypeScript in a watching mode, which means in our folder here we should receive another file with controller which looks quite okay to me. In order to make sure everything is working, what I'm also going to do, I'm going to add this controller here. Just edit, plugins, reload, controller 1.0, and let's see if we get some errors or something. Now it seems like everything is working, so we're good to go. Basically, everything's compiled properly, and we can just start moving logic from our controller to our previous controller to our current one. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file called helper, not helper, or let's call it polyfill, maybe polyfill. Is it like how it's spelled? I'm not sure how it's spelled. Just let's just call it helper because I don't want to look stupid. Helper.ts, and in this helper file we will put all the logic which is not directly related to the game scene, but it's related to some helping methods, like for example this JSON polyfill. Let's just put it here, and it should say that it should throw an error. For some reason it doesn't. I'm not sure why, but it should actually, because it sort of redefines the JSON. I'm not sure why it doesn't throw an error, but whatever. We also can copy all the functionality related to timers. And as you can see, it also has this like 3 dots here, which means that I probably need to specify a type. I'm not sure if I actually want to do it. Let's just do it anyway. It will be function. Oh, can I do it like that? No, I can do it like that. Can I? I should be able. To be honest, I don't even know how to pass function properly. Is it like that? Yeah, it's like that. Then time ms will be number. I'm not sure that haven't I believe I never done a callback function in TypeScript, to be honest, which is sort of fun. And arguments will be any and array, I guess. And here, what we need to do we need to do something here? No, we don't need to do anything. And also timers. Yeah, I think we're good to go. It's also will be of type any. Basically, it won't be of type any. It will be type function array. Nope. Okay, I just won't touch it because it works, and I don't think it will in any way affect anything. And let's just create another file which we will call consts. which will contain all the constants which I want to have in the game. And I will copy this, first of all, this dictionary here. And I will also copy these things. All right. So now we also need to add these files to the our dev script. Otherwise, our script won't know what we want to add all this stuff to our results file. So it will be cons.ts and also src helper.ts. So now if we restart our dev thing, it should compile, start compilation in watch mode, and yeah, it actually says that set timer function is what? Is not compatible with implementation of signature. Okay, yes, that's an issue actually. But what we're going to do is we're going to rename this set timeout to something else. I think it will be the simplest way, like do later maybe. Since we still don't have anything implemented and we will have to rewrite everything. So now there are no errors found, and if we check the result file, as you can see, we have all the dictionary here and also all the helpers. Everything is moved to the same behavior, and behavior is still here with its definition. It's actually not important that it's not on top of the file. It works that way anyway. And if we try to run the application again, we shouldn't see any errors. Yes, we don't see any errors. So let's proceed. First of all, we need to create the private variables for the controller. So let's go to index and let's probably copy it here. And now let's modify the controller. We have the last time already. We need to have camera node, which will be private com target node, which will be CCB node. We will have marker, which would also be CCB node. We will have our camera, which is the same, and also chat. I will just copy, not to retype chat input box, which will be the same, and so on. Oh, and so on. We need to basically define all the properties which we had before. So this one is related. Now I understand why I group it like that. It's related to Ox, which we can set it to false from the beginning. So now input text. We can also set it to empty line because we don't really want to reassign it later. And also is right mouse button. Let's just set it let's just set it to false, and also private is shift pressed. Let it also be false. So, oh no, it's too early for that. Now we also in our first frame we also need to assign these things. I wonder if we can actually do it not on the first frame but here, but doesn't matter. So this com target would be this one. This marker would be that one. Also this camera would be this thing. Oops. And chat input box would, oh okay, I could just copy the whole line, lol. And everything else is pretty much already assigned. So we have all the nodes. I just want to have nodes now like that. So we have all the nodes assigned, and yeah, that was the first part. Now I would like to go to, oh, okay, so there are also some other functions which will go to our helper ts. So it will go here, and we also need to modify them a bit. So this will be a number, this will be a number, oops, this will be also a number, and it will return also a number. And here with Euler, the same thing. It will be number, number, and number, and it will return a number as well. Oh, okay, so I have a lot of stuff related to number. I will just copy that. So, oops, let's just do it like that, like that, like that, and number here. Get player ID. Players. Oh, okay, so here we also need to add another thing to our list of, of things. We will also need to add players array, right? So I just wonder if the whole thing will work now, because this players array, it's defined somewhere else, and okay, we will just move everything to the TypeScript. It's not an issue. We'll create another source file which we will call models, and here I will define the player. Should it be type or class? Let's just say that this is a type. So it will be type player. It will have the same properties as we sent from the backend. Let's just go to server, let's open it, and let's see what we actually return here. No, okay, so it will be pretty much the same as this one. So no, it's not the same. It's not the same. It should be the same as we return from the server. So where is our update function? It should be this one. So the player should have it will be ID, which is number. It will be is it number? It's not number, it's a string. It will be rotation on y-axis, which is actually number. And when we will have animation, which is string, and we will have name, which is once again string. We will have the x position, which is number, and we will have the y position, which is also number. So that's what it looks like it. And we also need to add this model somewhere here. So let's just, oops, what the hell? Let's just do src models.ts, and I'm just on another window. I'm just typing the dev script, and I'm starting it again because it doesn't, the change here doesn't affect the running script. And so let's just check again that we have everything correctly translated here. So we should have, okay, we shouldn't have the type. Anyway, we don't have a type, because I'm not sure if we actually need to include this, because these types, they don't have any representation in JavaScript. It's just internal TypeScript thing. So it shouldn't change anything basically. All right. Anyway, what were we doing? I already forgot. Okay. I was about to copy. I was copied this one. Oops. I need that right now, and I copied it into here, and this should be string, and players would be array of type player. Yeah, and this one should also return us a player, I guess, right? Yes, I think so. So the helpers are updated. Now let's go to our main thing, and we also have a mouse event here. Let's just start with the mouse event. First of all, I need to make sure that my template has this one's correct. Yes. And let's copy the whole code here, and let's see if we can, if we need to modify something. Okay, first of all, we don't have target position, and target position, I will make it, it's a vector 3D, right? It's a vector 3D, so I will just make it a private variable here. I'm not sure why it's not do I actually need to translate? Okay, so no, it doesn't work like that. I just need, it shouldn't be the class, because I'm then I'm reusing it in the other action. So I just need to define target position here. So it will be target position. It will have either type vector 3D or it could be null. And currently it will be null. So now if events equal 3, we will yeah, so nothing to edit here. I think everything is looks pretty fine. And now from the controller, we will just copy all these things here, and we'll see if we need to update something. We will also have a host variable, and global player ID, and so on, and all these things. I will just add them here. So we will have constant host variable, which would be a type of string. I don't actually need to specify type because I'm defining it as a string, so it will be defined as a string. I will need global player ID, which will also be a string, and it will be let global player ID string. And what else? What else is happening here? So on key event, if key enter, we already have this defined in const, right? So we have key enter, and pressed. We have it here. We have that. We have that. I wonder why is not assignable set. What? This is weird. CCBs in node property. Doesn't it have like a visible property here? Let's just add it. Visible. And I'm going to need this one. All right, so I just didn't have the property. So now it seems like everything is fine. And oh, where do it's not or I'm not looking into the right place. This one is the right place. Now it looks like everything is fine. It's not. Okay, what's that? Data. It should be function. I just don't want to have any errors here. And now the only thing which is left is just our on animate function, and we'll see maybe we can also do some refactoring on animate actually, because currently we sort of have everything in the same function, and this is quite a long file. We probably need to separate this, to divide this into the different functions. So for example, this one, it looks a lot like mouse control or something like that. So we will just go to our index.ts and we'll create another method which we will call mouse controls. It's a pretty terrible name, but whatever. I guess we will need delta time here anyway, and it will return nothing. So like that. So first of all, let's see what it does here. So it has a mouse 3D, get 3D. It will return vector. Why does it say that it's not? Doesn't exist in type vector. Okay, this one is quite is quite funny, because yeah, it actually doesn't exist in a type vector, and we need to sort of modify our vector 3D a little bit. So we will just call interface vector 3D, and we will add our properties number, and number. So now I think it should be fine, because for some reason it can't extract this XYZ properties from the JavaScript class. So now it's fine. Then we have the world position. World position is, I don't want to rewrite vars to lets and so on. Doesn't matter, to be honest. Is right mouse button. We have access to it. We have everything we need. Oh, freaking hell! I'm just looking into the wrong place once again. I just close it for now. Okay, so the same. We have everything defined. We're also only using delta here, so we have, I believe we have everything um everything we need here, and let's just call this mouse control function and pass delta time there. So as you can see also, like if I'm not passing, for example, the correct property here, it will say that it expects one argument, which is pretty cool. So if you do it with JavaScript, it will never tell you that something isn't right. So now, once again, I need this MMORPG controller, and this one is related to update uh, entity positions and update player positions. Let's call, I don't know if, oh, it should be entity because I believe I will just update everything in the same. I will just update everything in the same place. So all like enemies and every other entities that we will have, if we have to update them on the front end, I will update them in the same place. So I'll just copy that. I will close it so it's not confusing me anymore. And I will create function which will call, which method which will be called update entities. And I guess it also should get delta number, and it also shouldn't return anything. And let's just pass the code. And here it's a little bit more interesting because we don't really have some stuff which we want to have here. So for example, this one obviously should be a number. We don't have our states because our states were defined in our CopperCube Connect. So there is a host defined here. Let's just leave it for now. Get data. States are defined here. We will just comment them out here because for JavaScript, it doesn't matter if you have defined or not. It doesn't care about such things. And we will define states here on top. So our states would be an array of something, and we probably need, the new type for a state, right? So what is that? What does the state contain? So state contains of received data, and it also contains of data, and data is basically the player array as far as I could understand right now. It's just players. Well, let's just try to figure out what it look like. So we'll have another type which will be called state, or let's just call it maybe network state, not network state, like entity game state. Let's call it game state. And here I would have these properties. It will be received that, which will be a number, and it will also contain the data, which we need to look up on the backend how it looks. So here we send the players. Okay, so it will be like players. It will be an object. It will contain players, which will be a type of player array. So it should look like that. So here we will have it as an array of game states. And let's just go further to our update entities. We don't actually need delta here. All right, if we don't use it, we don't need it. So now states, everything looks pretty much okay, and we don't have add remove add or add remote player. It's because this add remote player is somewhere in our action, and it should be in connect, I guess, right? So we will just also we have applied texture here, Where does it used? Where is it used? It's used in, okay, so both this function we will just copy and we will just comment them here, and we will go to our helpers and put them there. So let's just figure out now what is wrong here. First of all, it says that this is a void, but this shouldn't be a void. It's because I don't have the proper definition into the global definition files, uh, which is okay, I guess. So now, what else is happening here? Player would be type of player, I think, and this function looks okay now. And what about this one? Encoded name. So this will be a string, this will be a node, and read file context content. It also returns us the void for some reason, even though it should return a string. So this is a type definition issue. And not material property type name. What? What? Texture one. So here it is. Okay, I guess it's just because I have this definition wrong. So let's just do it like that for now. I'm not quite sure, but it's an issue with definition, obviously, because this one was working. And also, other thing which we need to do, which I totally forgot, we need to update this set timeout to do later, because we don't have this set timeout anywhere. And I'm also need to make sure that we don't have this set timeout anywhere. We need to rename it to do later. All right, so we have this commented here. We also localhost. Okay, so the host shouldn't contain the ID. Well, it's a lot of files now. Even more confusion. It became even more confusion than it was before. Disconnect. So here we will have like this localhost. Let's just rename it, and this one I'll just put here so we can modify it in the future. And now this one is updated. It doesn't have anything, states are moved. We also have a global player ID which we need to comment out, and we will add this to our basically here, so it will be like that. And what else? So we have our move entities, everything seems to be fine, and it looks a lot like we've done the whole thing. So now we have the file, which is result file, which is 300, almost 300 lines in length, and the original was pretty much the same. Okay, so it makes sense. Now it seems like we probably have everything that we need, I guess. Let's do the following. Let's just remove, where do we have it? It's on the scene. Let's just remove the previous extension and only left the current one. And let's see if our code is still working. Of course, it doesn't work from the first time, right? Because, I mean, why should it? But we're going to figure out. So this is basically an issue with the camera, I guess, because um, our camera didn't move where it's supposed to be, and I wonder why does it happen. Hmm. I think I just forgot to copy something. Oh no, I haven't forgot. I probably just forgot to call update entities. Update entities here. Yes, I think that's the reason. Yay! So everything seems to work again. That's pretty great. I didn't think it will be that easy. But yeah, so this is quite a boring episode, and I'm mumbling even more than I usually do. But this is really important for now. Because even though it might look more confusing, It's actually not. We have a couple of really great things. We have a couple of really great adjustments which we done here. First of all, everything is typed now, so we definitely know what the type is of entities. And for example, let's just take some sort of like maybe this part. Uh, so if I'm missing something, if for example I just missed, if I thought there is no players class there, and I do it like that, it should show me an error, but it still doesn't. What the hell? Are you joking? So let's just do brief. It doesn't have any of the field. What? Why? Um, okay. If I do it like that, if I define it as a game state here, it will be game state. So now, if for example I try to autocomplete, it will show me all the all the path to all the properties. And so, for example, if I'm trying to access the property which doesn't exist, like that, for example, it should show me an error. No? Okay, it doesn't. But okay, you got the idea. But anyway, I can get it just as autocomplete. And if I start try to get it right like that, no, it also doesn't. What the hell? All right, it doesn't give you an error, but at least it gives you autocomplete, which is also good. But it's weird that it doesn't, to be honest. I thought it should. And also, I just want to put it. I don't just want to put some sort of like print statement somewhere to make sure we're actually running the correct extension, not the one which we had before. Okay, so now we're in correct extension. Yeah, all right. So um, I'm not sure why the errors are not shown, but maybe I will figure out, maybe not. But anyway, so it's good thing to have everything typed. Just believe me for now. And we also cleaned up on animate functions a lot. We moved all the logic related to players movement and also controls to separate functions, which is great because it makes the code more understandable. And now we have the helper files, which will also help us in the future to keep everything consistent. All right, so I guess that's it for today. And if you're not really interested in like how the code was refactored, just don't watch this video. Just download the files, and this will be fine because I understand this one is pretty goddamn boring. Anyway, see you next time.